heartbeat of the Mother Earth. That's the heartbeat of each and every one of us. And we're daughters of the drum. We're very honored to be here. And I believe you're going to make some introductions here and start your program.
Thank you.
So good to see you.
Nice to see you all. Nice to see everyone today. Beautiful Spahelt is here with us, the wind. The wind is bringing our ancestors around to embrace us, to be here with us today. I want to thank Andrea for asking me to come forward on behalf of our Musqueam people, our relatives across the water, Squamish, Tsleil-Waututh. All of us share this beautiful land, this beautiful place we call Vancouver today. If this was 1791, you would have seen the first ships arrive, and they would have looked a lot different than we see out there today. And we were here, and we actually welcomed Captain Vancouver to this territory, and the rest, they say, is history, right? I want to hold my hands up to my friends, my ladies in the back. I don't like to have my back to them, for being here to sing a beautiful song when I'm done, and really, again, invite our ancestors as Indigenous people. We never, ever forget our ancestors to be here with us today, and this beautiful land reflects all of the history here. And we welcome our sisters, our lady friends, our brothers from all directions that have come to be here today and honor the work that's going to be done. Such important work for all of us to remember that we have to shift to come back to who we always really were. All of us. We need to come back to our sacred place. The place 150 years we've sort of been shifted and forgotten, some of us. When I mean some of us, I look at these buildings and I wonder where they find their sacredness. But I'm sure if they come down and come out to the water and come out to the land, they will be embraced and they'll find that place the drum helps us to realize as well. You know, we've all gone through hard journeys in our life, all of us. And it is that brings us back to who we are. That connection that is so important. You have to feel connected. If you don't feel connected and you're disconnected, you're going to aimlessly wander and look for yourself. But if we look at the trees and the water and we look at the land, we see ourselves and we feel connected. The blankets that I make are not just made out of materials that are not important. They're made out of materials that were gifts to us by the Creator. If we look at trees and we look at the plants and the medicines that are there, and if we can remember that these medicines are there for us. In fact, there's a saying that for every ailment, Creator has something to heal you. It's not just in the drugstore. But it's hard for us because we've all become that kind of thinking that we have to run to our doctor when we're sick because we believe in them. And thank God for them, for the scientists are helping us to move through this last year of COVID. Much controversy around it, much people maybe not believers, but God also created scientists for us. He created those medicine peoples too to work with us, together with us, so we can find solutions. And that's why we're here today. We're here today to look for those solutions together as people, as human beings, and as spirits. So before I leave you, I have a beautiful poem that I actually came across that I really want to share with everyone. And it's really to honor our women and to speak to this. The elders say that the Native American women will lead the healing among the tribes. We need especially to pray for our women and ask the Creator to bless them and give them strength. Inside of them are the powers of love and strength given by the moon and the earth. When everyone else gives up, it is the women who sing the songs of strength. She is the backbone of the people. So to our women we say, sing your songs of strength. Pray for your special powers. Keep our people strong to be respectful and gentle and modest. Great One, bless our women and make them strong today. Haj Kasiyam, everyone. Thank you.
My dear relatives, good to see more and more of you arriving. We give thanks, Debbie, for your beautiful words that lift us up in a good way. We're very honored and we're grateful to be here on your territories and be able to conduct our ceremonies and lead our lives in a good way. Masi. And we are going to as well honor all the women, all the life givers. We want to offer a song now. Most all of you know this song. It's the Women's Warrior Song. Yeah, I see some, there we go. So sing along with us. We send this out to all the life givers all over creation. Many are comfortable wherever they may be, and many of our relatives are living on the streets right now. Some are in institutions, some are having a hard time, some don't have any food or water or shelter. Us, we chose to be standing out here. Not all our relatives have that option. So when we sing, we send that gift out to lift up all of creation. Our teachings tell us that most important is for the honor to come back to the givers of life. The honor has to come back to the life givers, including this one right here where we're standing, the Mother Earth. Until we come back to a balance and walk in a good, kind, soft, gentle way on this Mother Earth and show respect for that life giver and all life givers, things will continue out of balance. So when we sing, join us. And if you don't want to sing, join us just with your own good intention. We want the honor to come back to the givers of life to rebalance all things on the Mother Earth. I am Aline, that's the light. My last name is Laflamme. I'm a Métis great-grandmother from Alberta, and I'm the founder of the Daughters of the Drum. And here are the beautiful Daughters of the Drum with two of our co-founders here as well. And join us. Let's sing for the life givers. Masi. Honoring all our life givers, including our dear one right there. Masi. Okay, my dear relatives, we like to sing, we'll sing the Spirit Bear song. Does that suit? Okay. We're going to sing the Spirit Bear song. As you probably know, in our teachings, it's the medicine bear that brings the healing to all of us. the medicine bear that travels around all over creation and brings healing wherever we may go and wherever we may need spiritual, mental, physical, or emotional healing. That medicine bear brings it to us. So we have great respect for the bear, and we share this song with you. We pray for the good healing, whatever kind of healing any of us may need. Masi. Sing out the best way you know how. Try and drown us out. Here we go, last time. That's when we got a little James Brown. I feel good going on. Okay, my dear relatives, I think we got something else coming here. Sheila, are you ready to, what's happening?
Tanze, Kiowa. My name is Andrea. I'm a Métis woman from Treaty 1, now living and working in the beautiful lands of the Semiahmoo First Nation. I acknowledge with respect the Musqueam Nation whose traditional territory we are all standing in this moment and whose historical relationships with the land continue to this day. And I acknowledge the systemic erasure of many nations as I recognize those nations that are still among us. The beating of the drum synchronizes the beating of our heartbeats together. And if you feel called to do so, I ask that you maybe take a moment and put your hand on your heart and just arrive in this place. I thank our wonderful Métis elder, Eileen, and her group, the Daughters of the Drum, for welcoming us in this way. Elder Eileen had shared with me that it was the drum that gave her back her voice years ago, and she's been gifting other women their voices since that time. In the Northwest Territories with the granddaughters of the drum and the sisters of the drum. So far in her life, she's made 1,460 drums, and that is an Indigenous way of knowing and doing. That is the strength of a Métis woman. And so we are all standing here together, strong, with the voices of women, which we affectionately refer to at CAN, the organization I'm with, as VAL. We're a standing committee of Indigenous women leading research and programs across the country for Indigenous, Métis, and Inuit peoples. Our purpose is to raise our voices at the policy tables where decisions about outcomes affecting our health are being made, and to build alliances with the greater and beautiful HIV/AIDS community, where we step out of the darkness and into the safety that's provided by authentic relations grounded in healing and respect. As with Aileen's story of the drum, I have been moved by the stories and strength of the voices of women that they have shared with me. I've seen their strengths. I've seen them standing strong. Standing Strong came to be at a VOW meeting back in early October, and the ancestors quickly, as in the very next day, aligned us with our beautiful elder, Sheila Nyman, whose spirit name is Stands Strong Like a Rock Bear Woman. Sheila was gifted that name by her elder, Eileen. And Sheila has been an active voice in the HIV community for over 30 years. It is my honor and privilege to welcome Elder Sheila to the space today, where she is going to lead us all in a healing smudge ceremony, which is a sacred Indigenous ceremony. Marcy Chimagwich, Elder Sheila.
What? My name is Sheila Nyman. My spirit name is Stand Strong Like a Rock Bear Woman, name given me after my 6th fast. Fasting was my segue, my entrance into learning and remembering the spirituality of my ancestors. I am a 60 scoop stolen child, growed up. At 15, I was right here on these beaches, 1969. My people are from the Lower Similkameen in the Okanagan Valley. I am Silk Métis is how I identify. I'm a member of the Lower Similkameen Indian Band. And my father's family came from Sweden. However, I do not know that family. I don't know my paternal family at all. And my life took many turns. And at 1969 on the beach here, and many other things in my life since then. I want to honor the ancestors of this territory that we are on, the Musqueam, the Tsleil-Waututh, and the Squamish Nation. I honor these ancestors, and if each one of us could just touch our minds on the energy of these ancestors in this earth, and Haichka Siem Lim Lim, thank you. Thank them for holding this land in such a sustainable way that each one of us can be here, standing, living our lives in all of the various ways that we live them. I want you to take a moment now to touch your mind. You just have to think it on those ancestors that have walked with you from the first breath that you took when you entered this earth plane. Those ancestors were activated in your blood, in your DNA, in your cells. They walk with you. I invite you to connect those ancestors with the land that you're on. That way, we all are connected and we can move in a direction that maintains our humanity and love for one another. Love is the most powerful medicine that each of us has been gifted with. And it is the medicine that we all need to use. My actions and I became very active in the mid-90s. Many of you may remember there was an AIDS epidemic going on in and around Vancouver. Dr. Penny Perry was contracted to do a study on what can be done, how can this epidemic be stopped. She came up with a slogan. It was a place to sleep, a plate of food, and somebody who gives a damn. There was many initiatives, if any of you remember, that were developed at that time. Many initiatives in and around the downtown east side. There was programs, and it seemed that there was success for a time. I don't live and work in Vancouver anymore. However, I have been coming back to do bits of work, and I'm very saddened to find out that we're almost back where we were in the mid-90s. Many of those initiatives and those great programs of support for people have dissolved. Monies and funding, and that's what it is, has been pulled. And here we are. I stand here today in honor of a dear sister of mine, Diane Greene. I wear many of her carvings. She was a wonderful, wonderful Indigenous woman from the East. She died here. She died here in a circumstance of being abused and raped because she was sick and she needed shelter. So many of our women, we don't have housing. We don't have safe places. We do not have access to health care. And so we compromise our well-being by allowing ourselves to be in situations of danger, because it's either danger, which we've lived with for many generations, or it's hunger and no shelter. Our women, when the colonizers came, they could see what made these people, the first people of this land, strong. And it was the women. We were led by women. It was the life givers that slowly began a process of taking the power from women, of encouraging women to have no voice. And even today, the practices and the efforts to keep women down is very apparent. Our missing and murdered Indigenous women and girls is one example. Our numbers of women contracting HIV is through the roof. Our people, our brothers and sisters, my sister, my brother, have passed from HIV related. I have many family, many friends. The programs of Houses of Healing for Women was an initiative that was born during the mid-90s. The houses are still there. It has somewhat changed because of the changing of funding, but it was a good place for women to come and heal. It went back to that basic thing, which is a plate of food, a place to sleep, and somebody who gives a damn. We are now in an epidemic, pandemic, worldwide. We also have not solved AIDS. We're living longer because of the medications, thanks be to the spirits and to the strength of people who keep driving it forward and making sure that we are not forgotten. But now this pandemic is upon us. We need to not be silenced when another pandemic takes the place of the epidemic. That epidemic is showing all of us that it's time to change. Wake up, people. Humans, humanity, wake up. It's time to pay attention. You can see even some of the initiatives is separating us from each other. We are all so lonely. We are not seeing our families. We can't hug. We're being separated. It's mentally having an effect on us, psychologically, spiritually. I just encourage each of us, and in every prayer I do these days, I ask to help me to remember my humanity. Help me to put love out, even though I'm frustrated that my vaccine passport won't come through my phone so I can show the airport that, yes, I've been vaccinated. There's all kinds of things that is happening. Each of us are frustrated in trying to find out what it is we need to do to be safe, to comply. I think if we can all just really focus on love for one another, focus on our humanity towards one another, no matter what, we will come through this. We are in a canoe, we're in the rapids. Just hang on, we're going to come out the other side. The water will become still, and we'll be able to walk calmly again. Remember our sisters. Remember, there's a whole segment of this population that has been oppressed from the time of contact. We are still here, and we are rising up. We are waking up, and we are standing up. And I thank you, Haichka Siam Lim Lim, from the bottom of my heart, for welcoming us to this vigil. I was able to smudge the wall with the names of so many people that I know and you know on it. And there's many that are not named on it. Lim Lim, thank you for being here. I'm going to have two of our sisters are going to light a big smudge. It's actually California sage. And if you stay where you are, they will be coming around behind us, and they will allow that smoke. And I just invite you to breathe it in. It is medicine. It does work. Seems silly, but it worked for us. And you know what? We are still here. All my relations.
Okay, my dear relatives, I'm just going to invite you, while the smudge is coming around, we'll invite you to just take a prayerful attitude, and we won't talk while the smudge is going around. And we Daughters of the Drum would like to offer a prayer song, so we'll just adopt a prayerful attitude. If prayer is not for you, it's okay. Hold a good intention. And we won't talk during this, we won't talk just during this time. And we would like to offer a prayer song. If you know the song, you're welcome to join us. Masi. You're so welcome to join us. Pretty easy song. We're just going to sing it another couple of times because the smudges are just about finished. So if you feel like putting your voices with ours, we would be just real honored to have you with us. Here we go. Way up high, way up high, way up high. I'd like this time to send our beautiful prayers out with our love and our honor, our respect for all our relatives that are gone on to the other side camp. Maybe they were not honored in their lives, but we're going to honor them now. Join us the best way you know how. Here we go. Way up high, way up high, way up high, And this last time we want to sing beautifully the best way we know how for each and every one that is dealing with the challenge of HIV/AIDS now. Here are our prayers, our love, our honor, our respect, and our compassion. Here we go. Way up high, way up high, way up Messy Cho. Thank you, dear ones. I should just say very quickly, the Daughters of the Drum, Susie McKay, Phoenix Winter, Mar Duval. Well, Sheila Nyman has been with me for a long time. She's our honorary Daughter of the Drum. Margot Alford and Yvonne Chartrand, also the director of the Knee Dancy. Messy Cho. Yes.
Thanks, Daughters of the Drum. Vow's sister, Melissa Morris.
Hi, I'm Melissa Morris. I'm Métis on my mother's side and settler Jewish on my father's side. I live, work, and play on Treaty 1, and I'm a member of Sisters of Fire. So we are a group of Indigenous women that live with HIV, and we support each other. You know, we're here today to just say that people living with HIV need to be at the tables and support other Indigenous women living with HIV. We need to sit at the tables and make decisions in terms of how our care is for HIV. And you know, in the past 6 months, I transitioned from being an Indigenous youth care worker to working in the HIV sector. I work as a community coordinator with the Winneska Center for STVI Research through Gannikinichek in Winnipeg. I'm a member of the board of directors for 9 Circles, and I'm a peer researcher with the University of Manitoba. So we're sitting at tables, and we, you know, encourage and want to empower more Indigenous women to sit at tables and speak up and support other sisters no matter where they're at in life. You know, I'm not too sure, my words are leaving me, but I just want to leave everyone with the idea that we can support each other, we can support the women that are on the streets and empower them just to live better lives no matter where they are without judgment, you know, and how to handle the stigma involved in living with HIV and using your voice living with HIV. It can be hard, you know, there's a lot of stigma still out there. not just surrounding HIV, but surrounding being an Indigenous woman. So we want to break these barriers and just call for more empowerment. Thank you.
Miigwech, Melissa. And now I'm going to ask our vow wise woman, Claudette Cardinale. She has a few words to say about stuff.
I don't come with an agenda, let's just put it that way. Haichka. I'm Wapokweni. I'm from Treaty 6 territory, and I've been living in beautiful country, the Squamish, Tsleil-Waututh, and Musqueam territories for almost 10 years here on this side, but on the island 17 years. I'm a mother, I'm a grandmother, proud to be. Took a while, but you know, things happen. I just want to say, in regards to the pandemic within the pandemic, within the pandemic, within the pandemic, I think that's how many pandemics we're in, right? There's the overdose crisis that nobody's paying attention to, the murdered and missing women, and I'll end it with the missing graves of the children that are still to be found, and the count keeps going up. And no help from government, promises broken, it's all this. And money, sunyas, comes down to that. And Elder Sheila spoke about that today as well. And I'm saying enough's enough, and that's why we stand strong. Women of vow, voices of women. Hi, hi.
Is there anybody else who'd like to say something about the voices of women? Or if not, that's fine. Last call. I just want to say thank you. We are so honored to have been so warmly welcomed as partners with the AIDS Vancouver Candlelight Vigil Reimagined. Thank you for, as Adam had said, kind of marrying us together into this beautiful new relationship. Along with the partner organizations, the Dr. Peter Center, the Heart of Richmond, the McLaren Housing Society, Pacific AIDS Network, Community, Youth Co., and the Health Initiative for Men, HIM. I hope I haven't missed anybody, but miigwech to everyone for being here, and I will pass it over to Adam, who's taking over from here, or is it Ed? Ed, are you going to come forward? Wonderful. Okay. So, do you want to be drummed in for a moment?
Oh, I love it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Can you drum them in?
Sure. You want a song?
I'd love whatever. Thank
You
you.
want a whole song?
All
Okay.
right.
We have one song called the Four Direction Song. You can all sing it. And we're going to honor this amazing guy with this song. Because when we sing the Four Direction Song, we send a message out to all of creation. We're going to send a message to all of creation that you're here speaking. All right. Here we go. You ready? The first line is away ho. The second line is away ho. The third line is away ho. The fourth line is
Away ho.
okay. Now that's already. So face to the east wind and sing the best way you know how. We just sing that 4 times, then you'll hear it change in the drums, change to the south wind, to the west wind, to the north wind. Yeah, you want to drum with us? Go for it.
I cannot.
You can. You can. You could.
Thank you.
Hey, thanks, my girl. Okay, here we go. All right, ready? You got it.
Ooh.
Away up, oh, 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 away up, oh. Just one push up. Way up, oh, way up, oh, way up, oh. Here we go. Way up, oh, way up, oh. find any clothes or food. So we give thanks one time to the Mother Earth. Here we go. Way up, oh, 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 way up, oh. And everything above us, especially these clouds that held back the you know what. We're grateful to them. Sing nice to them. Here we go. Way up, oh, 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 way up, oh. Now, if we were standing here all by ourselves, we'd feel lonely, right? So look around and this time sing for everybody you can see. Say hello to everybody. Here we go. Way up, oh, 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 way up, oh. And now we have to sing for our dear relative to welcome him. You ready? Let's really give him a big welcome. Sing loud. Here we go. Way up, oh, 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 way up, oh. And very last, my dear relatives, sing beautifully for your own self. In this moment, we are each enjoying the gift of life. That could change in a split second. So in this moment, let's be very grateful that life continues to flow through our bodies. Sing beautifully for yourself. Here we go. Way up, oh, 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 way up, oh. Way up, oh, way up, oh, way up, oh. Wasn't that fun?
That was wonderful.
And you're welcome.
Thank you so much. So wonderful. Thank you so much. Oh.
Yeah, great drumming.
With all these wonderful welcomes, and I want to thank VOW for their wonderful messaging, their prayers, and their good thoughts. And we as settlers do have the power to change things. You have that with your votes. So speak to elected officials or promised elected officials and make sure that what we heard today is going to be carried out. We need action, not words anymore. We want that action to happen, and it's with you to decide to speak to any of your potential elected officials or your current elected officials to make sure that these voices are heard. My name is Ed Lee. I'm an ex-everything. I have retired, so I'm an ex-worker. But I was one of the people who helped found the Vancouver AIDS Memorial. And it makes my heart really warm to see that this group of sisters, mothers, have come by and made this a place of healing. We never thought that the Vancouver AIDS Memorial would be a place of healing. We thought it would be educational. And this is the reimagined candlelight vigil because over the years of apathy towards HIV/AIDS, we have done nothing to make ourselves healthy as a community. This is what we're trying to do. We're trying to reimagine. With the help of AIDS Vancouver, we are looking at imaginative ways. And you heard the names of all the organizations. There has never been this collaboration between HIV/AIDS organizations or any organizations that had to do with HIV/AIDS. We all, back in the day, had our little silos and we fought for that funding. We wanted that funding or this or that. And never did we get together and work together. And this is a wonderful opportunity because as funding gets carved away, we become smaller and smaller and smaller, but together, collaboratively, you can have a big voice. And this is the one occasion that we could work with our First Nations people and all the other organizations to be stronger. We need our communities to be healthier. So I'm here to welcome you to be, I guess, your Philip Banks, who's interim director now, or executive director, is it executive director? Okay, Avivi asked me because we go back a long way. He told me that I would become the Grand Dame, which I love. I didn't want to be a coach, I want to be a Grand Dame. Anyways, I have been living with HIV since 1992, and I wanted to end with my own personal story. And I learned about stories through our First Nations. I took the course at U of A online that Daniel Levy suggested through Schitt's Creek, and it was wonderful. It taught me so much. But we had heard the phrase Indian schools. We had heard the phrase, taking away the Indians. We didn't know what it meant. We were 10 years old, 15 years old. We had no idea. They didn't teach it in schools. All I remember was coloring in areas of Canada with different colors of the different tribes of Canada. But until I took the course and read an amazing book called Five Little Indians and saw Kent Monkman's work at the Museum of Anthropology, did I realize that stories are our truths. Not the stories that we hear as fairy stories, but are honest, true, lived stories that have caused change for us. So my little story has caused change for me. When I newly got diagnosed, I don't know if you remember, there was a restaurant where Denny's is now called Red's. And I have a auntie, I call him Tia. And Tia and I go back to like years and years and years. We used to know one another when we lived in Toronto. Tia was so HIV phobic. He lived close to Casey House and he wanted to move. He said, I'm getting out of here. I'm just too close to that place. So when I got diagnosed and was living here in Vancouver, I was afraid of what would happen when I told Tia about my health condition. We had dinner one night and at Red's, and he reached over and took a part of my dessert. I wept. I realized that he didn't see me changed at all. And I'm not passing anything on to him because as phobic as he was, he took part of my dessert. And of course, without asking, he never does anyways. But what that proved to me is that being HIV positive was just a part of me. It wasn't all of me. And throughout the time I heard the term, things change. Yeah, well, things have changed throughout that time. So with that in I am so happy and proud to represent to call upon the other organizations to have their shared stories as well. So the next person up is Angela Noel from the Heart of Richmond.
Thank you, Ed. So everyone bear with me, I've never done a speech before. First and foremost, I'd like to acknowledge that I am an uninvited guest on the Musqueam, Squamish, and Tsleil-Waututh lands. Greetings, everyone. My name is Angela Noel, and I'm the outreach worker for the Heart of Richmond Aid Society. We're a small nonprofit. We've been around since 1997. A small nonprofit with a lot of heart, we like to say. It is an honor to be invited here today. It's so wonderful to be gathered despite rain and all. Rain, winds, barges. This year has been difficult for our members. I'm glad you like that. On a serious note, this year has been difficult for our members. I support HIV positive peoples in Richmond and surrounding areas, and this has been their second pandemic. And we're noticing a lot of similarities between the AIDS pandemic and the COVID-19 pandemic. So I've been trying to gather my members, but it's been very difficult considering we haven't been able to gather for the first few months of my position. And my members are doubly isolated as they're HIV positive and immunocompromised. I'd be remiss if I didn't acknowledge how devastatingly pandemics have historically affected our Indigenous nations and the unfathomable grief I've witnessed my Indigenous friends and community members experience this year. I would like to light a candle today for all the Indigenous women who are being most affected by this illness in recent years. Indigenous women are the heart of this community. You are seen and you are loved. Thank you so much for holding space for Heart of Richmond at this gathering. We look forward to so many more future collaborations. I would love to introduce to you our beloved volunteer, Al Hungershafer.
It's an honor to be here today on the unceded lands of the Coast Salish nations, peoples. I knew I was going to get this a little confused, including the Musqueam, Squamish, and Tsleil-Waututh nations at the Voices of Women and Candlelight Visual Reimagined event. This day is quite emotional for me today for many reasons, but what I'd like to do today, December 1st, World AIDS Day, is take this opportunity to remember a very close friend of mine, Marcel, who passed away in 2009. Marcel and I were diagnosed HIV positive very close to the same time. I was diagnosed in 1991, and he was diagnosed around the same time. And we came together at a Vancouver Persons with AIDS Society health and wellness workshop, and we just kind of clicked. We were not really expected to be the type of people that would get together and click, but we did. And over the years, we met regularly. We met for coffee, sometimes meals, and we would sit and chat and play games. In the summer, we'd go to the pool, or we'd go to the beach down here, and we'd play bocce ball and frisbee. And we would talk for hours about everything that was going on in our lives, and specifically how we were dealing with this illness. And at the time, it really was an illness. It was scary. People were getting sick, dying. We were seeing devastating changes in our own selves. But he was always there. He was such a kind person, and I often say he was my main support. He was my rock. And I can still remember the last day I saw him. We had coffee like we often do. We chatted for well over an hour, and then I had to go because I had to go to an appointment. And when I was leaving, we were out on the sidewalk, and we always ended with a hug. Well, on this day, he gave me an even longer hug, and he held me even tighter. And as I left, I crossed the street, and part of me wanted to run back, but part of me had to run to my appointment. And sadly, that was the last day I saw him, because he had been dealing with some issues that were extremely painful for him, and he chose to move on to somewhere where he was not feeling that pain anymore. And I felt that loss as well as anyone who knew him. He was such a kind soul. And for over a year, I was really quite lost. But I kept hearing his voice in my head telling me, you should check out this organization in the area you live, because I live in Richmond. It was called the Heart of Richmond. He goes, I think you'd like it there. You should check it out. And at that time, my schedule was busy. I wasn't able to attend their support groups. But about a year later, that schedule changed, and I was able to go. And through this organization and this support group, I found a very diverse group of people that I became friends with. And over the years, we really had some great memories and shared experiences. They have a wonderful monthly dinner that is very much like a family dinner, and they offer so many other programs and workshops. Also through the organization, I became involved in the PLDI training, which I'm very proud to be part of. I went to the Loon Lake retreat a couple times and then had the honor of being one of the retreat team leaders. The thing I think I'm most proud of is that of an HIV educator, which I've been doing for over 10 years now. And I know so much of that has to do with the support of my friend. His voice being there to telling me to go check out this little organization, and what a difference it's made in my life, and it's helped me to become the person I am so proud to be today. So, buddy, I just want to say thank you. You were and will always be my rock. So thank you. I'm going to pass it now to Sam from Dr. Peter Center. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Samantha from the Dr. Peter Centre. What a wild year it has been for all of us. A few years of unpredictability, anxiety and uncertainty. Similar to the many organisations that are here today, the Dr. Peter Centre was born out of a pandemic, so we know how to evolve in an ever-changing environment. It has been such a privilege to work with these amazing organisations and bring this day together for people who have lived through the HIV/AIDS pandemic for almost 40 years now. For us, today is not only a day to remember those we have lost or the hardships people have faced as a result of HIV and AIDS, it is also a day where everyone who has struggled over the last 2 years with the difficulties our community has faced to come together in a safe and stigma-free space. At the Dr. Peter Centre, we are working at the intersection of numerous crises: COVID-19, HIV, AIDS, the overdose epidemic, mental health, homelessness and poverty. And while I'm proud to say that as a result of increased health protocols, we have not had an outbreak of COVID-19 at the centre, however, the overdose epidemic has really taken a toll on us. The need for all of the organisations here has never been greater. At the Dr. Peter Centre, our participants need a place that they can connect with others and tend to their bodies and spirits. Today is a day that we can all come together and heal from the hardships we've all faced as a result of the crises we continue to face. We are so grateful to be here with you today. Thank you for all of your support for people living with HIV and AIDS.
Well, thank you everyone for having us here today at La'ante. I apologize in advance, my Dinescale is a little rusty. So I'm Evan Christopher Matchett Wong. I'm originally from Treaty 6 territory in Amiswachi, Skaigan, also known as Edmonton. My grandmother is actually from Cold Lake First Nations, so I thank you here today. It has been some time since I've been able to smell the sweet smoke of sage that was not from my own smudging circle, so thank you so much. I'm distinctly privileged and honored to be a guest here on these territories and to be able to help do what I hope is considered good work, because in my heart that's what I feel. I'm here representing the Health Initiative for Men, also known as HIM, H-I-M, and I have been here for about 40 days. So I'm a very, thank you. I am a newcomer to Vancouver and the surrounding territories. And I have to acknowledge the many ideas that HIM has developed over the years as a colonial institution. And I'm here as the new program director to help lead the organization in a good way, to bring back a focus onto Indigenous folks as well, who are unfortunately and quite purposely in many instances forgotten by policy. So we're here today to do that kind of good work. And the focus has always been about HIV, AIDS, and has been ever changing to shift around that as well. We're hoping to seek to do more holistic care, more in the capacities of just sexual health, but also including physical, mental, spiritual, and social health as well. As we know, these epidemics and pandemics do not work in a single way. They are multifaceted, and so must our solutions. And in that, we also have to approach in a good way to make sure that everyone is able to be brought in. And in that mind as well, we're approaching with a new gender mandate to not only focus, of course, on gay men, whom our original mandate was meant to strengthen and serve, but to include gay, bisexual, trans, two-spirit, and all gender diverse peoples. So thank you so much. And that's about it that I have to share. Who do I have to call on next? You. Well, I call upon Ed. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Evan. And we've had a request for Anne to speak.
Hi, my name's Anne Fable. I'm from Winnipeg. I am honored to be on this territory. I'm a Sisters of Fire. What I really want to say is, because when I found out I was HIV positive, I was devastated to tell my family. And I know there's a lot of people that are very scared to let their family know. And I was blessed to have a family of love, I guess. And my sisters are on my skirt with me. And they're the most strongest people that I have known, are my 6 sisters that brought me up and made me who I am today. And I wouldn't have been able to do it without them. So, you know, find that sister, find that woman to bring you up. Thank you.
So the meaning of our candlelight vigil is really to bring light. And all these stories that we've heard today, thank you so much. You've brought light to so much of our lives. The drumming and the stories and the prayers and the smudging has also brought light. And the candlelight vigil basically brings light to us. So because of the fire laws, we can't use fire, but smudging was different. So what we have is basically the procedure of the candlelight vigil is that I begin to light one, and we pass out a tea light to the next person, and that just carries on and carries on and carries on. So once we pass them all out, we want you to take that light and bring light to stories, bring light to all that you need to bring light to. Let's bring us out of the darkness. This is probably the darkest time. Hopefully it will become a lot brighter. So thank you so much. And at the end of all the lighting, we will ask our sister drummers, if they will, to drum us out and for you to go home with a lot of light. Thank you.
Okay, my dear relatives, I'm not that tall. Okay. I'm sorry. I'm not very confident yet. That's good. Okay, my dear ones, we're just coming to the end of our ceremony. You got your candles lit, and we'll just ask you to join us. We're going to sing the last song we're going to share is the travel song, and that's traveling of every different kind, like spiritual traveling, emotional traveling, mental traveling, as well as physical traveling. And it's to whenever we have a gathering, we're not finished until everyone is home safe. So in all the ways that we think of being home safe, we'll go this way. And you're so welcome to join in with us. If the song moves you, join us. Okay, I'll do 1, 2, 3, dear ones, this is a call and response song, as you can hear. So I'm going to just sing the first line, and this will be our last time to sing this song. So if you feel to join us, just sing the best way you know how. It's a beautiful thing that we can gather here together and talk and be with one another. We are, every single one of us, one teepee pole, and we're each one standing separate from one another. But if we ever, once for a minute, imagine that we stand alone, that is our foolishness. There's no teepee pole in creation that stands without its leaning on other teepee poles, and other teepee poles are leaning on us. So we stand separate on the Mother Earth, but we're very interdependent. Until we learn that lesson, we won't know much. So when we sing this song, it's to sing that place of togetherness, that interdependence, that place where all things in creation are connected, and to honor that and walk with that sacred knowledge. And on behalf of my beautiful daughters of the drum, thank you so much for inviting us to be here for this day. It's a very good feeling, and we're grateful that we were not blessed too much this time. We've been blessed enough. So here we go. Join us. Thank you, thank you, thank you.